Its economy remains strong. The President is continuing to take action himself. We just passed billions in urgent funding just last week, and the Senate will continue to stand ready and willing to work toward further bicameral bipartisan actions when the House Democrats decide to get serious.
Now, yesterday, Madam President, the World Health Organization officially declared COVID-19, known as the coronavirus, a pandemic, saying that it was, quote, deeply concerned both by the alarming spread and severity and alarming levels of inaction by the nations of the world. Let me repeat that. They were deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and the alarming levels of inaction by the nations of the world. In my home state of New York, members of the National Guard have arrived in New Rochelle this morning to clean institutions and deliver food to the more than 120 sick residents within the 3-mile containment area. Here in the capital, public tours will be suspended, and by the end of the week, the Capitol complex will be restricted to official business only. And today, the House of Representatives will take up and pass several measures that the Speaker and I called for earlier this week to alleviate the economic pain felt by American workers and families that are impacted by the coronavirus, including extension of paid sick leave, food security insurance, and an expansion of unemployment insurance. The legislation will also provide much-needed help to states like New York that are overburdened by Medicaid costs by temporarily modifying the FMAP formula. It gives the states the flexibility and money they need to fight this problem. I have long fought for an increase in FMAP funding, and this is welcome and needed for New York. I'm glad it's in the bill that Democrats in the House and Senate put together. Now, many of the policies that I've mentioned have been enacted by other countries dealing with the coronavirus. The policies are targeted at workers and families that are directly impacted by the virus, which is exactly where the focus needs to be. Not on bailing out oil and gas companies or the cruise industry or deregulating banks, some of the ideas under discussion at the White House by all reports, but on helping the American people cope with the crisis. That is job number one. We can come back and pass additional targeted measures that deal with other economic problems at a later date. But in the immediacy of today, the policies that the House will pass will provide much needed help to those who need help. It will provide significant economic relief by pumping money into the economy, and it will provide some flexibility to the localities, the states, and to the American people. The Senate should pass this bill immediately following the House before the end of the day. I plead with my Republican Senate colleagues to pass this bill now. It has been carefully thought out. Its programs are directly aimed at people. They're not ideological. And it is desperately needed to show the American people that we can do things that actually benefit the people who are in trouble and actually help move the American economy. To not pass this bill today would be a dereliction of duty. And I plead with Senator McConnell, put the bill on the floor. Let there be a vote. It will pass, in my judgment. Put the bill on the floor. Do not let this legislation that the House passes at a time of crisis be just another tombstone in your legislative graveyard.